If you look at your expenses and you're gonna say, oh my God, John, you've wasted $600 this year on coffee and donuts on the way to the casino. Eye opener, stop doing that. Brew coffee on the way out of the house and bring a mug with you. Save $600, right? I know I take coffee and a cookie with me from my house, right? In session 4, Gambling 201, we've been talking about money management. Today, I want to talk quickly about accounting for your expenses. Yesterday, we went into this idea of having multiple bank accounts, right? The 401g account where your master bankroll lives, and then splitting your wins into separate accounts for expense handling and for excess, for trips and craziness, right? Let's dive into the expenses, okay? The expense accounting. Here's the thing. You're going to use, I recommend, a single dedicated account or credit card to pay your expenses. In my case, it's a Capital One Venture card, right? I get a ton of miles on that thing and cash back. I've got the highfalutin ones. I get miles and cash back on that card. If I have money in my hand and I'm thinking about going to the casino, that card comes out. It's my gas, it's the coffee at the gas station, it's the McDonald's French fries on the way home, it's the food at the casino, whatever I'm doing, that comes out of that account. Why? Because A, it's actual expense I've incurred. I would not have incurred the gas, food, whatever, if I wasn't going to the casino. So to me, it's an expense of going. Because it's an expense of going, it comes onto that credit card. I earn miles on it, I get cash back on it. So it's doing a little bit of work for me. It's like a little comp builder. The card itself is. Now, it's a credit card, so it's got an interest rate to it, okay? Putting money in, I pay that thing in full every month. We'll talk about that in a minute. I pay it in full. There's never any interest on that thing, okay? I use a dedicated account. I have a dedicated, you saw it yesterday, expenses account. It's a savings account that is an interest-bearing account. So when I win money and I put money into the savings account, it's earning interest. It's a money market account, so it earns decent money on that thing. That thing is what pays the credit card. So the credit card I use to earn miles and cash back and all my expenses. The savings account, that is my expenses account that I put my winnings into, interest bearing, and that being funded from my wins is what pays the credit card. So there's the cycle. Win a bunch of money, load the expenses savings account pays the credit card. The credit card earns miles and cash back. So there's a little bit of juice in there, right? The reason why I like to use a credit card, and in my case, it's the Venture One card, but you can use whatever card you want. The reason why I like that is because the credit card lets you, it not only has a full accounting of your month, it has every transaction on it, of course, fees and everything else. It categorizes them. So if you go to log into your bank account or your credit card account, now when you look at your invoice or your statement rather, you can edit every single transaction and categorize it. It does a pretty good job. The AI does a good enough job of categorizing for you, like this was gas, this was food, whatever. If you want to give it different categories, you make your own categories, you can categorize it. You'll get at the end of the year a report that shows you from your expense card where all the money went. I spent X on gas, hotels, plane tickets, whatever it was that you spent the money on. You get a full accounting. It's good to have that, right? If you ever have an audit or whatever else, it's good to have the reporting just as backup in case you need it. It's also good for your mental state to look at your year and go, oh my God, this year I spent, $4,000 and change on randomness that you probably don't even think about, right? Having that report and that separate card lets you look at it and go, my God, I spent going to the casino this year, $1,100, and I did last year, $1,100 on gas, right? And about $600 on randomness, like coffee and candy and stuff going to the casino and back, right? Just a quick stop at the McDonald's. It's a lot of money, almost $2,000 just burned in getting there and having some stuff. You got to account for that, right? You got to know that. Now, other things that in there were plane tickets to go travel and hotels and that kind of thing too. So that it's good to see where it all comes from. That yearly report is a helpful thing. And the fact that you can categorize it with your credit card company is good for you. It may make you make different decisions in the next year by reviewing that report. It's just good to see where your money's going and realize the bleed that takes, right? The expenses are a bleed on your wins. You got to remember this. To get to the casino, to get to where you're going, it's a bleed. There's a cost to it. Now, That's why, again, I keep it separate. My win goal is 300. I win 500. $100 goes into the expenses. It's a bleeding off my profits to fund that account. And I think it's an important piece to it. Realize the bleed, use your reports to see the bleed and make different things. Also, by having this notion of my savings account, my expenses savings account, where the money actually goes, having that thing pay for what's going to be on the credit card, I know I make this decision. I don't spend a dime on that credit card without doing a sanity check first. If I look at my credit card and I say, look, it's first of the month, February 1st, it's zero. Nothing on the card because I paid it off, right? I look at my expenses savings account. I got $550 in the savings account. And I say, cool. Do we want to go to Vegas or do you want to go to whatever? Do I have the money in the account? If I have the money in the savings account, I will charge the expense. I'll buy the plane ticket and then I'll use my savings account to pay the thing. Okay. If the savings account has less money in it than what the expense is going to be, I don't spend the money. That's when I say to people, I can't afford to come see you. I don't have it. I'm not going to pull money out of my master bankroll to fund a trip. If I've earned enough to pay for it, absolutely. And I think that sanity check is important. Seeing the savings account and the credit card should be at zero, the savings account should be at X. If I have enough money, that decision is a thumbs up. If I don't, not happening. Again, I use that as a visual reminder to make smart decisions. Okay, I think maybe I'm a little bit over the top with being organized and diligent about this stuff, but trust me, if you don't have a sanity check built in and you don't have a system of making sure your expenses are accounted for, you're going to have problems. Okay. Now, what do? The account itself, the savings account that I have for this, it's set up with auto pay. I have it set up in my bank account to auto pay the credit card 100%. It's already set up. There's a checkbox. Say my credit card, Venture One, auto pay connects to this account, which is my expenses account, and I check the box. It's pay in full. So every month when that credit card comes due, it pays. I pay no interest on it. I'm not trying to build credit. I'm not trying to play that game. I use the card to earn the points and the cash back. That's it. The expense account, if I didn't want to earn the points, I would just use my expense account as like a debit card, right? I use the credit card as a means to earn some stuff. A little bit of side hustle play right there. But yeah, the expense account, savings account pays that thing in full every month. No interest is accrued. That's a critical thing for me too. That's why I say with the sanity check, looking at the other screen, do I have the money in the expense account that if I charge it, I can pay the charge off? That's my go or no go decision. That to me is an important piece of handling your expenses too. Okay. So all that said, I want to kind of recap what I said on the earlier slide. I think it bears repeating. Okay. Having an accounting of where your money goes is helpful for two reasons. Number one, it's helpful for you to see where your bleed is. How much money are you burning in random expenses or travel costs to fund your gambling habit? That's good for you to know, okay? The second thing is this. If there ever is an audit, for whatever reason, there's an audit. Here comes the man. You got a log. You got an official log, a report from a company, a credit card company that will explain where your money went. If you're going to gamble, and I'm not doing this, if you're going to gamble for a living and you show no income to the IRS, my income was zero because every day I won $500 in cash, and you're depositing into your checking account and you're never having any income come in from a job, that's going to raise some flags, right? So you have a full accounting of things. It's only going to ever help you. If somebody says to you, and by somebody, I mean the government, where'd all that money come from? And you go, I don't know. Right? That's never a good answer. So be diligent. Again, log everything, categorize everything, pay it in full. If you can have, I'll go back here again. If you can have a credit card that earns miles and cash back, if you can have a savings account that's money market interest bearing, you're making money on both sides of that thing. You can reduce the bleed by just a tad. Play it smart. Play your expenses game smart. And that's my thoughts here on managing expenses. Again, it's a small piece to the big puzzle, but again, if you're going to play the any craps on the come out in craps, you're going to bleed away that $3 or $5 every single come out roll. You're not going to notice it in your rack. But if you logged, let me go back to here. If you logged every single time that you didn't win the $5 bet over the course of your life, you're going to go, oh my God, I burned $10,000 wasting $5 on this come out roll. If you look at your expenses and you're going to say, oh my God, John, you've wasted $600 this year on coffee and donuts on the way to the casino. Eye opener, stop doing that. Brew coffee on the way out of the house and bring a mug with you. Save $600, right? I know I take coffee and a cookie with me from my house, right? You open your eyes to the dumb things that you do when you don't realize you're doing dumb things. I think that's why I think putting it right in front of your face is so important. All right, so well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.